Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 58. In this episode, we are going to do a quick recap, talk about your plan, talk about your environment, and then, of course, recap on my mama. I talked to you about my mama in a previous episode, or my mom. I don't know why I'm saying mama. And lastly, I'm going to answer a couple FAQs. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this episode. Okay, super excited to be here talking about money. I know this is kind of a weird week. We're talking about it 3 times this week, but I think that it's important that we get this stuff down because as I've learned, getting control of your money can help you get in control of your life. It can motivate you to do things that you've never done. In case you missed the past couple episodes, let me recap for you. Well, first, let me tell you that my name is Marie Sonneman, and I paid off $106,000 in debt in just under 2 years. I want that for you. That's no small feat, but believe me, I sucked at budgets, I sucked at money and math, and no way ever did I think that this was possible for me. So if I can do it, then you can do it. So over the last couple days, or over this week actually, we have been talking about different things that you can do to help your money situation. And the first thing that we talked about was your environment. You have to pay attention to your environment. Get rid of the stuff that's not serving you or that's not helping you stay on track with your goals. So get rid of your emails, for example. Say you get emails that tempt you to buy. Get rid of them. Unsubscribe, like Amazon, Groupon, Coach, Nordstrom's, whatever the thing is that makes you want to buy or tempts you, get rid of it. If there's certain things in your environment that make you want to buy things, see if you can remove them from your environment. Now, on the flip side, I'm going to say, what can you add to your environment that's positive? There has to be something out there that would be positive for you to add to your environment. Now, this could be YouTube videos or listening to a certain podcast, reading books, whatever your thing is, do that, right? Try to absorb as much information as possible. Now, I am a believer that you follow one person and their process through getting out of debt. My dog is panting super hard in the background. That is not me. But okay. I'm a believer that you follow one person's process in getting out of debt, and then later, at least say it doesn't work for you in a couple months. Then you can use somebody else's process if you had to. Here's why I say that. People often take a process and they start it for a couple days or a month and they're like, this doesn't work for me. But they really didn't go all in. They just got in their own head and thought they were too stupid or wouldn't be able to figure it out. So they said, nope, that didn't work for me. But you really got to stick with it. You got to go all in, invest your everything on one process and make it happen. So I am a fan of having education and having as much information as possible. But I also believe in the beginning, you got to trust somebody else's process, and it helps to just stick with one person. Hope that makes sense. If you have questions about that, definitely send me a message. Ordinary to Badass on Instagram. I would love a DM from you telling me if you have any questions about that. So I also talked a little bit about my mom. Yep, I'm bringing my mama into this. So my mom had a bunch of debt, or my parents did, but my mom specifically was the one handling the finances, and she was struggling with it. And if I'm honest, I was worried for her and my dad. I was thinking at that time, I was like, oh, my dad's going to retire in a couple of years. My mom's already retired. What are they going to do financially? They still have debt and then a mortgage. So I was a little bit stressed for them. I had paid off all of my debt or was close to finishing up paying it off. So I figured I could help her a little bit, right? So I sat down with my mom. We came up with a budget and we wrote down all of her bills that she owed, all of the information, kind of what we talked about in the planning phase. We wrote down all the information for her bills. Pono Bear. Guys, my dog, he is a husky, and I shut the door whenever I'm recording for the podcast, and he just starts panting like crazy, just going nuts. And so I feel like in the background, like you can hear, like, nope, not me. Darth Vader is not here, but that's my dog, Kono, the husky, and he gets hot, and he's gonna let you know it. Anyway, I digress. So back to my mom. I sat down with my mom. We wrote down all of her debts that she owed to everyone, came up with a plan of who she was going to pay off first and who she was going to pay off last and how much she was going to pay, all that fun stuff. And to my astonishment, I recently found out that she paid off her mortgage. She paid off all of her debt and her mortgage. Guys, that is amazing. That is the whole reason why I started Ordinary to Badass. Well, my financial coaching first and then Ordinary to Badass. That's the whole reason. Just in case I needed to help my parents out to pay off their mortgage or any debts that they had because I was worried. Little did I know, I didn't need to be. All she needed to do was get her budget in order. So there you go. There's your answer. You don't even have to work with me if you don't want to. You can create your own budget and figure out your own plan. It's up to you. You know you and what has worked for you in the past. But the cool thing was, literally, all I had to do was sit down with my mom, create a budget, create a plan, and a couple years later, she had did it all herself. That can be you. To me, that's so freaking exciting. So exciting. That's what I want for you. So now let's pivot a little bit. I want to let you know what I've been hearing from people. And I think that it's important that you know so that you can have these questions answered yourself, or if you're going through the same thing. So one of the things that I've been hearing is I suck at paying off, or I suck at saving money or paying off debt. What am I supposed to do? I can tell you to create a budget. I can tell you to pay off your lowest, whatever your lowest bill is first, and do that. But sometimes you still get in your own head. I get that. But I also want you to know, beyond like the technical stuff, guess what? I suck at saving money too. I do. That's a horrible thing for me to tell you right now. It really is. Because who wants to work with somebody that sucks at saving money? But I've learned to be good at it. So here's what I do. I save money by having a secret bank account and having money automatically go in there. Now, before you go and sign up and have a secret bank account or do one of these apps like Acorn, and I think Acorn just automatically, if you pay $1.70, it rounds up to the $2 mark and just automatically puts 30 cents in your account. It does that for every purchase you make. It takes the remainder of that, it rounds up to the next dollar and puts it in your bank account. While that sounds like a good deal, I just wouldn't recommend it. I have done my own version of that before. Actually, probably a couple years before I started on my debt-free journey, like a couple years before that, I was like, I suck at saving. I cannot save. I felt like a horrible human being. That's not an exaggeration. I felt horrible because at the time I had a spouse, I had stepkids, and I wanted to be able to save money for the kids in case something ever happened to me or their dad, right? So I stressed out about that. And I was like, well, shoot, if I'm just going to be in all this debt and I can't save or I don't have anything stocked away, like I might as well save money but hide it for myself, not have a debit card so I can't go spend it. Listen, that sounded like an amazing idea at the time. And I'm not even like beating up on myself for doing it. It's what I thought was best at the time. But if you look at all the interest rates on all of your credit cards and all of your debts, it's better to just pay off the debts, right? So here's the tiny little caveat how it helped me when I finally got on my debt free journey and had a plan figured out on what to pay off first, like pay off my smallest bill first, all the way up to the largest bill. So my very first bill that I had to pay off, I think it was $3,000 or $4,000. And so, and I had like $4,000 in the bank because every month or every paycheck I had put, say, $50 or $100 away. I don't remember exactly how much. Um, and I just didn't look at that account for years because I knew or I believed that I just couldn't be trusted with money. So if I saw it, I'd spend it. So I had that hidden away, just keep being stocked away. So when I finally got on my debt free journey, I kept $1,000 hidden away. And then I took the rest of the money and threw it at like my lowest credit card bill. And I believe it paid it off or made it pretty quick to pay it off, which gave me a little bit of a boost or a momentum. Like there was a little pep in my step, as I sometimes say. Again, I don't know who really says that anymore, but that's what I had was probably a little pep in my step, a little swag for paying off one bill right away. So yeah, I see how that helped a little bit. But if you're $106,000 in debt and you only have $4,000 in savings, does that really help you? So, just something to consider. Your interest that you're paying on all your credit cards or debts that you owe is probably way higher than the amount that you're making on your savings account. So, get 1,000 to 1,500 in your account. 1,000 if you're single, 1,500 if you're married and have kids. I just want a little bit of extra cushion for you if you have a family. And the rest go towards paying off debt. Get out of debt as soon as possible. So I think the only time that you should have one of those secret bank accounts, because I still do that. I have a secret bank account for my savings and a secret bank, well, and my 401k. So I have more money than I would like go out to my 401k, and I have money automatically taken from my savings. Every single paycheck, that's what happens. It just automatically goes out. I don't see it. I rarely log in and pay attention to it. Like, I think it's a good idea to pay attention to it. Don't get me wrong. Um, but I know it's just automatically coming out and going there, and that's helpful. So, my opinion is don't have this secret bank account where you don't have a debit card or an online bank account, is what everybody else calls it. Don't have that. Don't have Acorn or the apps that help you save money unless you're debt free. Because when you're debt free, that could help you. That could be cool. And you could be bad at saving and just do that and not even really see it and forget that you're making that money. Cool. But if you have debt, don't do those. That would be my suggestion. Another question that I got is, can I still put money into savings while paying off debt? I would recommend you don't. I think that you save your $1,000 or $1,500, like we just talked about, if you have a family, people that you support, then put it up to $1,500 in savings. So pay off the $1,000, or sorry, create the $1,000 to $1,500 savings account, or emergency fund as some people call it. And then from then on, after you have that money in the bank, then all of your extra money goes to paying off debt. So your first couple of paychecks, if you don't have anything in the bank, you save up to $1,000, $1,500 if you have a spouse or kids, or maybe even parents that you're paying for, whatever. And then after you get that money saved, then you're going to start paying off debt. Now, I want you to go balls to the wall here. Seriously. If you need to get to that $1,000, if you need to get to that $1,500, I want you to go all in. That's it. No excuses. Go all in. What can you sell? What can you do to make money? Can you work overtime? I want you to start thinking about things that you can do to make money. I mean, there's eBay you can start selling things on, right? There's Uber. You can start driving for Uber to make extra money, or Amazon doing deliveries. Start getting creative here. How can you make money? Grocery stores. That's another thing. Grocery stores are hiring right now during the coronavirus. So start figuring out how you can get to that $1,000 or $1,500. And then after that point, you don't save anymore, and it all goes towards your debt. Paying off the smallest debt first and the largest debt last. Now, say you have $4,000 in your bank account, $5,000, doesn't matter. If you have $4,000 in your bank account, you save the $1,000, you take that $3,000 that's left over and put it towards your lowest debt. If your lowest debt is $1,000, cool. $1,000 goes to pay off that debt, and then the $2,000 remaining goes to pay off your next debts, right? And just keep going down the line. And then you're going to see a change. You're going to see some movement. I know that you can do this. So $1,000 or $1,500 in your bank, $1,000 if you're single, $1,500 if you have a family or a spouse, and then the rest is going towards your bills. Pay off all the debt you can. The only thing that's not included in this is your house. Don't worry about paying off your house right now. Pay off your credit card bills, your car, all that stuff. Just make a list, smallest to largest. What's the smallest debt you owe? What's the largest debt you owe? And start with the smallest debt. Once you pay off the smallest debt, then you go to the next smallest debt, and so on and so forth. Someone asked, how do I pay off on debt and still keep up on bills? Well, oftentimes we find ourselves paying over the minimum payment on all of our bills. At least that's what I did. So you're going to pay the minimum payment on every single bill until you hit that $1,000 or $1,500 mark. And then once you hit that point, then you're going to pay the minimum on every bill except for your smallest bill. Now, this isn't really including things like utilities that are going to be the same every month, and you generally don't have a gigantic bill on those. So you're going to pay off your smallest debt. Say your smallest credit card debt is $1,000. Then pay off that first. If your next one's $2,000, then after you pay off the $1,000, you take that money that you were paying towards the $1,000 and you put that towards the bill on the $2,000. So really, all you're doing, paying off the minimum paying the minimum payment on every single thing that you owe, except for the smallest debt that you have. Don't get too in your head about this. Just keep it simple. What if I suck at math? I've heard that over and over again. Friend, I said that to myself. I used to tell myself all the time, you suck at math. You can't do this. A budget sucks. A budget's boring. And yada, yada, yada. Here's the thing. There is no math that you need to know in your head. None. Nothing. We are in the day and age of calculators, and there's even probably a calculator on your phone and your computer, right? Put it on your phone and your computer and figure it out. It's not a math problem. You don't have to be good at math to figure this out. I guarantee that's not a thing that's going to bother you. The other thing is I created a color system, a color-coded budget. So every color in the budget, or every different item in the budget, whether it was transportation, groceries, entertainment, whatever the category was, there's a different color. And then as I go through my bank statement, as I go through any bills or whatever, I would just put a little check next to it with that color, or highlight it with the color, whatever you want to do. And then just add the totals up on a calculator later. It's not that confusing. I will go into that process soon so that you can hear all about it. But I promise you, if I can figure out the math, if I can figure out the budget, you can too. Just try to keep an open mind, because I know that we get in our heads about this, and I'm not blaming you. It took me months to try to figure it out, which is the exact reason that I'm trying to break it down for you, because I just want to keep it as simple as possible for me and you. I want to help you figure this stuff out. I know that it's going to be so much easier for you going forward. I just want to keep it simple and help you create a plan for your future and be able to pay off debt and then be financially free and not have to worry about college for your kids, or the vacations you want to take but aren't able to, or the money you wish you had. Just paying bills every month and the drudgery and the heaviness that comes with debt. Like I said, I was $106,000 in debt. So probably more than anybody, I get it. I can feel what you're going through. And I know how helpless it feels. I believe in you. I believe that we can make this happen. Whether you end up signing up for my program later or not, I'm here to help you. I want you to make this happen. Believe in yourself, and then just start taking the action steps that we've already listed, and let's do this. Let's make it happen. All right. On Monday, you're not going to want to miss the episode. I'm going to go more into detail about how to color code your budget, what makes my system so unique. It simplifies it for you, breaks it down, makes it so easy. It makes the math not even feel like a thing. And so if you're like me and you feel stupid with your money, I think that you're going to appreciate this. And then also, we're going to go ahead and launch Badass Money School. So if you want to be better at creating a budget, paying off debt, and saving money, Badass Money School is for you. So definitely tune in to Monday's program, or that sounded really old school, Monday's program. Tune in to Monday's episode or Monday's show to hear about the color-coded budget and how that works and why it's so stinking easy. All right, I will catch up with you on Monday. Definitely shoot me any questions that you have. Ordinary to Badass on Instagram. Believe me, you are making my day by sending me questions, because I think it's important. I want to know what you're struggling with. I want to be able to help you. But if you don't send me questions, then I don't know. I can't tailor the program to you. So definitely, I'm on Instagram at Ordinary to Badass. Send me a DM. Let me know what you're struggling with. I'll talk to you on Monday.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass, and get the chance to be on a future Spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.